What if the greatest prison you inhabit is not one of walls and bars, but of your own making? What if the chains that bind you are not forged of steel, but of ingrained patterns, unconscious impulses, and desires that dictate your every move? For centuries, humanity has grappled with the insidious power of bad habits, those repetitive behaviors that chip away at our potential, erode our self-worth, and hijack our very will. We promise ourselves change. We rally our willpower, only to find ourselves back in the familiar grip, defeated and disheartened. But what if there exists a profound, ancient technology for the soul, a method so potent it promises to not merely curb a habit, but to shatter its very foundation, liberating you to live a life of true agency and purpose? What if this method comes from one of history's most revered intellectual and spiritual giants, whose insights continue to resonate with timeless truth? Today, we unlock the extraordinary teachings of Abu Hamid Al-Ghazali, often referred to as the Hujjat al-Islam, the proof of Islam. Born in Persia in the 11th century, Al-Ghazali was a polymath, a legal scholar, a theologian, a philosopher, and a mystic whose work profoundly shaped both Islamic and Western thought. But beyond his vast academic accomplishments, Al-Ghazali was a seeker, a soul, who famously underwent a deep spiritual crisis, abandoning a prestigious academic career to embark on a decade-long journey of self-purification and inner struggle. It was from this crucible of personal transformation that his revolutionary soul discipline method emerged, a systematic, comprehensive framework for mastering the self, breaking the invisible chains of addiction, and aligning one's inner being with the divine will. His magnum opus, Ihya Ulum ad-Din, or The Revival of Religious Sciences, dedicated extensive sections to the diseases of the heart and their cures, providing a practical roadmap for anyone yearning to break free from self-destructive patterns. This is not a superficial self-help fad. This is a deep dive into the very architecture of the soul, offering a path to radical, lasting change. Al-Ghazali understood that bad habits are not merely external actions, but symptoms of deeper spiritual ailments. To merely suppress them is to treat the symptom, not the cause. His method, a rigorous process of self-observation, intention, active struggle, and the cultivation of virtues, is designed to purify the soul, or what he called the nafs. The nafs in Islamic psychology is a multifaceted concept often translated as the ego, self, or soul. It is the seat of both our base desires and our potential for divine connection. Al-Ghazali's discipline is not about annihilating the nafs, but transforming it from a tyrannical master into a tranquil servant, guided by reason and divine light. This transformation, he taught, is a journey of several interconnected stages, each demanding sincerity, vigilance, and profound resolve. Stage 1. Self-awareness and introspection, muraqabah and muhasabah. Before you can conquer an enemy, you must first understand it. Al-Ghazali begins by emphasizing the absolute necessity of rigorous self-awareness. He calls for muraqabah, constant self-observation, a vigilant watch over your thoughts, feelings, and actions throughout the day. This is an unbiased, non-judgmental witnessing of your inner landscape. Why do you reach for that distraction? What triggers that craving? What emotions precede that undesirable action? Following muraqabah is muhasabah, self-accounting. At the end of each day, or even each significant interval, you must hold yourself accountable, performing an honest inventory of your actions, words, and intentions. Al-Ghazali likened it to a merchant settling accounts at day's end, meticulously reviewing profits and losses. Were you true to your resolutions? Did you succumb to temptations? Where did you fall short? This is not an exercise in self-condemnation, but in truthful recognition. Most habits operate unconsciously, like hidden currents beneath the surface. This stage brings them into the light, exposing their patterns, their triggers, and the deceptive justifications we construct around them. Without this foundational understanding, any attempt at change is like trying to navigate a dense fog blindfolded. You must become an expert on your own internal workings, an anthropologist of your own soul, documenting its customs and rituals. Stage 2. Firm resolve and sincere intention, azm and tawbah. Once awareness dawns, the next crucial step is azm, a firm, unwavering resolve. This is where you make a sincere and absolute commitment to abandon the bad habit, not for a day or a week, but forever. This resolution must originate from the depths of your being, born of a genuine desire for purification and a recognition of the harm the habit inflicts. It's not a casual wish, but a spiritual vow. Coupled with azm is tawbah, sincere repentance. This is more than just feeling sorry. It's a profound turning away from the past transgression, a commitment to never return to it, and a sincere plea for divine assistance in this arduous journey. Al-Ghazali insisted that true tawbah involves 3 conditions: immediate cessation of the sin, sincere regret for past actions, and a firm resolution never to repeat it. This stage solidifies your internal compass, pointing it definitively away from the habit and towards a higher, purer self. Without this deep, unshakable internal commitment, Al-Ghazali taught all subsequent efforts will be built on shifting sands, destined to crumble under the first wave of temptation. Your intention is the spiritual engine of your transformation. Stage 3. Active struggle and deprivation, mujahada.
With awareness and resolve firmly established, you now enter the arena of mujahada, the active struggle. This is the stage of direct confrontation, of consciously resisting the allure of the habit. For Al-Ghazali, mujahada is a continuous battle against the lower self's inclinations, a spiritual warfare where patience, sabr, is your primary weapon. Initially, this involves a period of intense deprivation, consciously denying the nafs its accustomed gratification. If the habit is procrastination, you force yourself to begin tasks immediately. If it's overeating, you practice conscious moderation or even fasting. This initial period is often the most challenging, as the nafs, accustomed to its comforts, will resist fiercely. It will employ cunning arguments, whisper doubts, and amplify cravings. Al-Ghazali advises specific countermeasures: actively diverting your thoughts, physically removing yourself from tempting environments, and engaging in activities that are diametrically opposed to the habit. The struggle is not passive. It requires active engagement, strategic planning, and an unwavering commitment to endure the discomfort. Each act of resistance, no matter how small, strengthens your spiritual muscle and weakens the habit's grip. It is through this direct engagement that the chains begin to loosen. Stage 4. Cultivating opposite virtues and positive replacement, or riyada. Breaking a bad habit is only half the battle. The other half is cultivating a good one. Al-Ghazali's method emphasizes riyada, spiritual training or discipline, which focuses on replacing the void left by the abandoned habit with positive, virtuous actions and character traits. This isn't just about stopping a negative behavior, it's about actively building a new, virtuous character. If the habit was excessive anger, you proactively practice patience, forgiveness, and gentle speech. If it was gluttony, you cultivate gratitude for sustenance, moderation, and conscious eating. This stage understands that the nafs abhors a vacuum. If you only remove the negative without planting the positive, the old weed is likely to grow back or a new one will sprout. Riyada involves consistent, conscious effort to embody virtues in every aspect of your life. It's about training your soul to prefer good, to find delight in acts of righteousness, and to instinctively recoil from what is harmful. This systematic cultivation transforms the inner landscape, redirecting the soul's energies towards constructive, life-affirming pursuits. You are not just breaking chains, you are building a temple within. Stage 5. Sustained vigilance and gratitude, istiqama, and shukr. The journey of soul discipline is not a sprint, but a marathon. The final, ongoing stage is istiqama, steadfastness, and unwavering consistency. This involves maintaining constant vigilance, never assuming victory is permanent. The lower self, Al-Ghazali warns, is cunning and patient. It will always seek opportunities to reassert its dominance. Therefore, continuous self-monitoring, regular muhasaba or self-accounting, and renewed azm or resolve are essential. This stage also incorporates shukr, gratitude. As you witness the fruits of your labor, the increasing freedom and inner peace, it's crucial to acknowledge divine grace and express gratitude. This reinforces positive emotions, strengthens your resolve, and deepens your connection to the source of all good. Istiqama means that even when you falter, you immediately return to the path, reaffirm your commitment, and continue the struggle. It is a lifelong dedication to purification and self-mastery. Understanding that the soul's journey towards perfection is continuous. This stage ensures that the transformation is not fleeting, but becomes deeply ingrained, a part of your very essence, a permanent shift in your spiritual DNA.
Al-Ghazali's profound understanding of the human soul categorized its states. He identified nafs al-amara, the commanding self, which impels towards evil and sensual gratification. This is the raw, untamed ego, the source of our most destructive habits. Then there is nafs al-lawama, the reproaching self, which feels guilt and remorse after committing wrong. This is the conscience awakening, the first glimmer of transformation. The ultimate goal is nafs al-mutmina, the tranquil self, which has found peace, certainty, and contentment in alignment with divine will. Al-Ghazali's soul discipline method is precisely the journey from the commanding self to the tranquil self. It is a spiritual alchemy that transmutes base desires into noble aspirations, restlessness into serenity, and enslavement into profound freedom. This is the profound philosophical bedrock upon which his practical stages are built, offering not just behavioral change, but existential liberation. In a world increasingly plagued by various forms of addiction, to substances, to technology, to toxic relationships, to endless distractions, Al-Ghazali's ancient wisdom offers a potent antidote. His method transcends cultural and religious boundaries because it addresses the universal human struggle, the battle within. It teaches us that true freedom is not the absence of restraint, but the mastery of self. It is the arduous yet ultimately liberating process of aligning our inner world with our highest ideals, transforming self-destructive patterns into pathways of growth. His teachings remind us that every step of conscious resistance, every act of deliberate virtue, is a victory in the greater jihad, the struggle against the lower self, leading to the ultimate triumph of the soul. The path of soul discipline is not easy. It demands courage, patience, and unwavering sincerity. But the reward, as Al-Ghazali promised, is nothing less than the liberation of your spirit, the reclaiming of your divine essence, and the profound peace of a tranquil heart. Do not let the invisible chains of habit continue to dictate your destiny. Take the first step today towards muraqabah, towards azm, towards mujahada, towards riyada, and towards istiqama. The power to shatter these chains resides within you, waiting to be unleashed through the timeless wisdom of Al-Ghazali. Embrace this ancient wisdom and step into a life of purpose, mastery, and profound spiritual freedom.